Hi all. In this video I'm going to talk about the difference between shares and debentures. Now shares. The entire capital of the company is divided into small units and each such unit is called as a share. So therefore, since the share reflects the capital which is owned by the company, the holders of the shares are also called as the shareholders. On the other hand, debentures is a debt instrument acknowledging the debt of the company to the holder of the instrument. So therefore, debentures reflect the borrowed capitals of the company, and the person who holds the ownership of the debentures is called as the debenture holder. Further, shareholders get dividends. The returns which is paid to the shareholders is called as dividends or is in the form of dividends, and the returns which is paid to the debenture holders is interest. Shareholders have voting rights given to them. So on all the important matters, they are entitled to vote. Whereas debenture holders do not have any voting rights. They can vote only on matters which directly affect their interest. Further, the shares can never be converted into debentures. Now, in the case of convertible preference shares, the option is given to convert the preference shares only into equity shares. So, preference shares also cannot be converted into debentures. Whereas in the case of debentures, the debentures are issued for a fixed or stipulated period of time, like 7 years, 10 years. So, at the end of the stipulated period, the debenture holders are given the option of either taking back the capital from the company or getting the debentures converted into shares. Further, shares for in the case of shares, the returns, that is the dividends which is paid to the shareholders, is paid only out of the profits of the company. Whereas in the case of debentures, the return is in the form of interest. So whether the company makes profits or not, the interest has to be paid to the debenture holders. Again, the rate of interest may be fixed or floating. Fixed is when the rate of interest has been pre-decided before at the time of issue of debentures. Floating is when the rate of interest keeps on changing depending on the profits of the company. So if the profits are more, the debenture holders interest rate will also be more, and vice versa. Further, at the time of liquidation and winding up, the shareholders are given the last priority, which means that only after paying the debenture holders and the creditors, if any money is left behind, then it is used to pay up the shareholders. Whereas in the case of debenture holders, they are given the first priority. Since debenture holders are the creditors of the company, therefore, even during the event of winding up and even during the event of liquidation of the company, the debenture holders will be paid or will be given preference before to receive their capital before the other shareholders get their capital.